Hello guys, today I'm playing Madout and today I'm going to do a review on the Creiser based off the Chrysler 300C. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, here's an overall look on the car. It's a nice car. The looks are quite basic, but it doesn't look bad. It's got a 200 horsepower, 2.5 litre V6. We're going to go into the back. In the back, it's not very cramped. Your feet do go through the seats a bit, but it's not very cramped at all. Also, we got some nice racing seats. Now, the steering wheel, it does glitch through sadly. It's got an interior that looks like a Lexus IS 250. I love the stock wheels. They do match the car. Sorry for the fact I just ran over him. Now, I'm going to do a full-on review. Hope you enjoy. So, is the car good for races? If you're gonna race it stock, you're better off racing a Zubilo because this isn't the fastest thing in the world. Like I said, it's got a 200 horsepower V6, so you're not gonna get a lot of power out of it. But it has got quite a good suspension. Like the robot, because I'm going to do a review on the robot soon, and the robot had very good suspension. Now, this is not the stock paint colour that it comes with when you buy it, but it is a nice paint colour. I believe it comes with like a gold colour when you buy it. It's very good. It's got very good handling, I should say that. Not the ideal best drift car, although it can drift, but it's not the best drift car ever. If you're in a police chase like I am right now, it's not going to be very good because the cops have nearly the same amount of horsepower as me. I only have 80 more horsepower than them. So yeah, it's going to be quite hard to get away from the police. So the suspension is good. The looks are okay. Now the pricing, 170k coins for this. I don't know if it's worth it. If you like the looks, then go ahead. Because I think the looks are actually very nice. It does have that really simple look that you think, like, when it's a concept car, you're going to think, oh, it's going to turn out looking like utter dog poop. But then it ends up looking really good. And that's what I think it was like. Because once I went to a car show, and it was like an indoor car show, and you could see all the concept cars, and Chrysler had their own concept car there. And to be honest, the concept car of this 300C, it didn't look very good. That was my opinion from the time. But now, I think it's actually quite good. It looks really simple. The looks, it's like one of them cars, like I just said, that has a very boring look, but it still looks good. Because the look is very basic, and God, I cannot get away from the police. It's literally impossible to get away from the police in this car, unless I literally go off-road. So I'm going to go off-road. The car is quite good off-road. but I wouldn't say it's the best. Like I said, it has got quite a good ride height for stock. I haven't modified the ride height, so here it is. It's actually pretty good. If you don't like scratching your car, this might be a good car for you. But I would say 170k for this. Now, that's like 80k coins away from the, what's it called, the J King. Now, everyone knows the J King is the perfect car, literally. It's such a good car. And it's more cheap than the Oster. Yes, it's got more horsepower than it. And yes, it's not a Russian crap box. But to be honest, like John Lopez said, the Oster has very good looks. I agree with him, but in my opinion, I don't think the looks are as good as the Creiser. But I would say that the Oster is probably, if you want to buy, which one should you buy, Creiser or Oster? Now the Oster, it will save you like 30k money. So when you're in an online sub and you don't have any diamonds, then you can just spawn your car. You can use your 30k in a good way, instead of just using it all on mods. Now, I choose the Creiser instead because it's got more horsepower. It's a less boring car because the Oster is, let's be honest, it's very boring. The car is very dull. It's just got a very boring layout. It's like that type of car your mum would drive, but the 300C is like the type of car your dad would drive, and everyone knows that the dad cars are usually at least a bit more better than the mum cars. Oh, I gave it a little scratch, but to be honest, if you're from America, you probably see these quite often, but in Britain I rarely see these because, like, usually they're definitely imported, no doubt imported. And by the way, the suspension's good, so when you're going on a bumpy road, that's good for the people that don't like their cars being scratched, because I don't like my car being scratched, I have to be honest. Because when it's scratched, it looks scratched. It just looks like I just got it out some junkyard and put it on the road and, like, you know, like that sort. But do I think this car's worth it? Yes. Do I think it's worth modifying? No, not at all. Except if you put on some new wheels and paint, yeah, it's worth it. But don't modify this. Don't put on a 500 horsepower engine, because you're just going to waste your money on a car that's barely more cheap than an Oster. And everyone knows not to modify an Oster. The Oster is the type of car your mum would drive. Would you drive your mum's car? Modify, I meant. Would you modify your mum's car? Would you put in a 500 horsepower engine in your mum's car? No, you wouldn't. And that's like, there's no point modifying an Oster. It's like that. There's no point modifying a Creiser because it's 170k coins, and to be honest, for me, that's not a lot of money when it comes to buying a car. But when there's like cabans and stuff which are 400 coins, yeah, they're worth modifying because they're like 400k, and like it's actually worth it. Unlike modifying an Oster, there's no point modifying an Oster. That's what it's like with the Creiser. You should not modify a Creiser because it's like the type of car your mum would drive, like I just said. And also, please don't make this car look like a bird poops on it. A massive, gigantic bird pooped on it. Just don't make it look like that. Don't make it have like some like baby vomit green paint, and don't put on like some really ugly wheels and like make the wheels tiny or something, because it's just not worth it. Also, I have seen a lot on Twitter these cars made into donks. I mean, yeah, it's an American V6 car, bound for any American from Florida to turn it into a donk car. But just, yes, I know what you're thinking. I really want to turn it into a donk car. It's your choice. I'm not saying you have to not make it into a donk car. It's your choice. But just, it's not going to look like what you expected. It's just going to look like utter droppings. I sounded very posh saying that, but remember, this is PG. Well, it's not PG, it's family-friendly PG. Only under 12s can watch, you know that. Okay, I'm just kidding, but like, anyone can watch it. But it's not good for police chases, because there are a lot of these round, which is quite a bonus for a police chase. But it's so utterly, it's like the police cars are nearly as fast as you. You only have 80 more horsepower than them. And like 80 horsepower may seem a lot, but when you get into your Subaru that has literally 80 horsepower, it's really slow, isn't it? That's what it's like. Because there's only 80 more horsepower, so they basically nearly got the same speed as you, the same top speed as you, but they do have a less acceleration. Like, the acceleration isn't as good as yours. Anyways, so a total, I'm gonna rate this. The looks are like a 9 out of 10. I really like the looks. The handling, I would say an 8 out of 10. The pricing, I'd say a 7 out of 10. The speed, I'd say probably a 4 or 5 out of 10. Like, it's not a very fast thing. It's quite a slow car. But like, if you've got not like a car that's not as good as this, if you've got like an 80 horsepower Subaru, maybe, I mean, it's worth it if you like having a car with good looks. But when it comes to like chases and stuff, I'm not sure. Is it worth it? Kind of. This acceleration is like a 5 out of 10, maybe a 6 out of 10. But there are a lot of these. If you're going to buy this in single player, yes, it's definitely worth it. But in online mode, you need a fast car and everything. And that car's not fast, but it can fit 4 people in it, which I guess is a bonus. Because some cars literally have 4 seats, like the R-Rocket. No, not the R-Rocket, I meant. Like this. This has got 4 seats, and only 2 of you can fit in the car, literally. It's definitely worth it if you're in a chasing online, if you always get chased around in online, because there will be a lot of them around, because to be honest, the car is quite popular in the Madout community. Everyone is buying them nowadays. Back then, it was like the most unpopular thing ever. It was like the Subaru. The Subaru, it's very unpopular. But, like, amongst the pro players, like, no pro players have Subarus except for the ones that have, like, sleeper cars. Just, it's not enough. So, overall, I'd rate this car, it's a 7 out of 10. I mean, come on. It does deserve a 7 out of 10. don't start saying, oh no, it doesn't deserve that. It does. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.